Tonight, we are going to take an in-depth look at lobbyists and the power they wield in state government. Dennis Owens now is here to show us the very long reach of Long and Nyquist, lobbyists in Harrisburg. Dennis.
Hey, Alicia, it is clear that lobbying is a protected practice. Courts see lobbying kind of as a First Amendment right to petition your government. But critics ask who's protecting taxpayers when lobbyists get too powerful in general, and they're pointing to one local firm in particular. The lobbying firm of Long Nyquist sits just a block and a half from the Capitol, but critics say it's much too close to the Carters of power, especially Senate Republicans.
Mike Long runs around the hill here and says he's the 51st senator. Okay, he has a lot of influence in this building.
Influence built over decades. The Long Nyquist website boasts superior relationships. Mike Long was the Senate's top staffer, first under Bob Jubileer, then Joe Scarnati. Nyquist was Scarnati's chief of staff. They left to found this firm in 2007, but have stayed very close to the caucus. Long married Amy, longtime staffer to Pat Vance. Nyquist is married to Noel, longtime staffer to Don White. Both wives work at Long Nyquist. So does Megan Crompton, wife of Drew Crompton, Scarnati's chief counsel. So does Megan Callahan, wife of Christian Callahan, chief of staff to House Majority Leader Mike Turzai. So does Tim Nyquist, former chief of staff to Appropriations Chair Jake Corman. Mike's son, Casey Long, makes $104,000 as a Scarnati staffer.
You want to talk about, gray area of incest, it's huge.
It's essentially a nepotism nest.
Conservative critics are upset that Long Nyquist have the trust in the ear of Republican leaders and have as clients the unions representing liquor store workers and teachers. Meanwhile, an all-Republican state government failed to pass liquor privatization, school choice, pension reform, and paycheck protection.
I don't think frustration is a strong enough word. It's
anger?
Yeah. And seeing that kind of opportunity just get completely wasted it's beyond frustrating.
Long Nyquist doesn't just lobby legislators on policy, it helps them with politics. LN Consulting ran successful campaigns for a who's who of senators, including Rich Alloway and Pat Vance in the mid-state, and leader Dominic Pileggi. A bill to ban lobbyists from also consulting on campaigns languishes in the Senate.
This insider's game is extremely lucrative for the axis of inertia. Politicians keep getting reelected, lobbyists keep getting paid, and special interests keep getting their way. The problem is, what about the other 12.5 million Pennsylvanians?
Scarnati says Long Nyquist does not have undue influence in his caucus, but admits he's open to a larger discussion about the overall power of lobbyists. Quote, I look at it and I think to myself there could be a better way and a cleaner way, and that's what I'd like to see. It's much broader than one lobby firm and one set of leaders, end quote. Senator Mike Fulmer says the firm's reputation is greater than its reality.
I think there's more power given there than what's really there. No offense to Long and Nyquist.
Fulmer says lobbyists only have power if lawmakers give it to them. Wagner agrees, but says with this firm, too many do.
Long and Nyquist is the biggest cancer in this building.
Strong words. Wagner's bitterness toward Long Nyquist could be because Long Nyquist did campaign work for Wagner's opponent, and there were especially nasty TV ads run against Wagner. Mike Long declined to comment for this story. Tonight at 7 in Part 2, funding that may have helped a Long Nyquist client. They kept repeatedly popping up in the budget in different places. What's up with that? Tune in at 7 and find out.
Dennis is here with Part 2 of his series. Dennis.
Hey, Val, that firm is Long and Nyquist, and it has lots of contacts at the Capitol, especially inside the Senate Republican caucus. We told you about those relationships at 6. But did Senate Republicans keep pushing for budgetary funding that would help a Long Nyquist client and also help the wife of a prominent Senate Republican staffer? ChemImage is a Pittsburgh company that makes security technology, and two of its products, LightGuard and VeroVision, claim to detect drugs or explosives from a distance. Products that caught the attention of Senate Pro Tem Joe Scarnati just after the Boston Marathon bombings. Intrigued, Scarnati put $1.5 million into the State Police 2013 budget to purchase the technology. State Police tested it, but decided not to buy it. Undaunted, Scarnati shifted the $1.5 million into an amendment for the Racehorse Development Fund, directing the money to the Office of Administration. The House stripped it out, but in 2014 it reappears as a $1.5 million grant to the Commission on Crime and Delinquency for a pilot program. Governor Corbett's staff was baffled why Scarnati's office kept pushing a product that state police didn't want. In a memo obtained by ABC 27, Corbett's budget employees quoted Scarnati Chief of Staff Drew Crompton as saying he was putting the money in OA's budget, quote, to give me more options if I keep hitting walls with PSP, the state police. Crompton's wife, Megan, is a lobbyist at Harrisburg's Long Nyquist, and her client is Chem Image.
Politics is about relationships, and lobbying is about relationships. It's crony capitalism, pure and simple. It doesn't matter. It's not that they have the best product. It's that they have the best lobbyist.
Scarnati strongly rejects the theory that his top staffer was pushing hard to steer state money to help his wife's client. Scarnati said, I make the decisions in my office. Drew Crompton does not. He works for me. She works for Long Nyquist. And when she comes in with her clients, he doesn't sit in the room. But the money was in this year's final budget until Governor Corbett blue-lined the $1.5 million for the bomb detection technology. Scarnati blew up at Corbett, saying, I hope nothing happens at a public event and this technology could have prevented it. That irks me. I don't care about Chem Image and I don't care about Long Nyquist, but I wouldn't want to be the guy blue-lining public safety if something happens. But critics insist this is proof that things do happen when Long Nyquist is your lobbyist.
They will tell you that they have access to this building in a huge way.
Now, 2 points. Joe Scarnati says he was interested in Chem Image's technology long before they became a Long Nyquist client. And additionally, the name Chem Image never actually appears in the budget request. Specific names rarely do. And it would be put out for bid if it was approved. But staffers say it was widely understood that the money was intended for Chem Image because they tested the product for state police.
Interesting, Dennis.
Interesting.